An ego clash happens when two people's identities, self-perceptions, or sense of importance collide in a conversation or interaction. It's not just a disagreement, it's a battle over who is right, who is in control, or who is more important. Unlike a rational debate where ideas are exchanged freely, an ego clash is driven by emotion, personal attachment, and the need to defend or assert oneself. These clashes can happen anywhere, at work, in relationships, online, or even among strangers. They often start subtly with small power struggles, competitive exchanges, or dismissive attitudes, and then escalate as both sides dig in, feeling attacked or unheard. What makes ego clashes particularly dangerous is that they aren't about the topic itself, they're about identity. When people feel their ego is threatened, they react instinctively, often with defensiveness, anger, or outright conflict. The first stage is the build-up, where tension starts to form beneath the surface. This is when conversations feel slightly off, but no one directly acknowledges it. You might notice subtle one-upping, where someone keeps steering the conversation back to their own experiences. Another red flag is dismissive body language, eye rolls, sighs, or crossed arms, signaling silent disagreement or impatience. Small interruptions or talking over each other also indicate that control over the conversation is becoming more important than mutual understanding. These early signals might seem minor, but they lay the foundation for a much bigger clash if left unchecked. Next comes the escalation, where the warning signs become more obvious. Defensive responses start creeping in. People begin justifying themselves instead of engaging in the discussion. Personalization of statements follows, shifting from what happened to what kind of person you are. Instead of saying, I don't agree with that, it turns into, you always do this, or you never listen. Voices get louder, tones get sharper, and the conversation starts feeling less like an exchange of ideas and more like a battle to win. A clear sign that things are about to explode is competitive framing, when both sides stop trying to understand each other and instead focus on proving who's right. Finally, the breaking point happens, the actual clash. By this stage, both sides stop listening entirely. Instead of responding to what's actually being said, they start projecting motives onto each other, assuming bad intentions. Ultimatums appear like, if you don't see it my way, we're done here. When logic breaks down completely, it turns into an emotional outburst, anger, resentment, or frustration finally taking over. At this point, the clash isn't about the original topic anymore. It's about self-preservation. Ego clashes feel inevitable, but they don't have to be. If you can recognize the early signs, tension in the air, competitiveness creeping into conversations, and an emotional charge building, you can step back before it erupts. Instead of reacting, ask yourself, is this about the conversation, or is this about proving something? By shifting from winning to understanding, you can prevent unnecessary conflict and keep discussions from turning into battles.